Hi, welcome to weekday coronavirus-driven mind stuff. My name is George Ortega. I'm here with Lucas Gabriel, and we've been going to the same Zoom party for several weeks now. Whatever, we've got a great bunch of people. We're there pretty much every night, and so today, Lucas and I are going to talk about politics. What's coming in November. Lucas, before we start, do you want to say anything about yourself to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Lucas. It's really cool to meet all New Yorkers out there who watch the show. I'm originally from New York in Ossining, used to be called Sing Sing Prison back during World War One. Yeah, I'm just a really humble, mellow guy, and it was cool to meet George and now all you people.
Excellent. All right, so
hmm
Lucas, what are your most general thoughts about this upcoming election?
Well, my thoughts are it's probably going to be between Joe Biden and Howie Hawken of the Green Party, the way it's going.
Joe Biden and I mean, like, you're talking about the general election, November?
hmm
All right.
Yeah.
So you're saying that Trump isn't going to be on the ballot? I don't understand.
No, I think he will be, but he'll probably have less votes than he did 4 years ago.
Oh, okay. So like,
Most people will go to those two instead, probably.
all right. So like now, Howie, I don't know this Howie person. Can you
hmm
describe him? And like,
Um, he's like a He's like a nuclear power plant activist. Like he's trying to get rid of all the nuclear power plants in the country and stuff, like in upstate New York and parts. The one in Connecticut. I forget what it's called. It's near Mohegan Sun, but yeah.
yeah, no, I know. We used to have an Indian Point here in I think
hmm
Upper Westchester County.
Yeah.
Um, all right. So we got to talk about this. This is a very important issue.
hmm Yeah.
Now, are you saying that, like, is the Green Party saying that
hmm
the Democrats aren't moving to the left enough, or not doing nearly enough
hmm
on the climate change? So basically they're saying to the Democrats, you either like move much farther to environmental things,
hmm
or we split the vote, the Democratic vote, and Trump wins. Is that the strategy? Or
Well, it's that, or people walk away from Joe Biden and go for Howie Hawkins, which will be a smarter strategy probably, because I don't think, even if Joe Biden does become president, my fear is he's not going to be as environmental as he was over 10 years ago.
huh? Um, why do you feel that?
Well, I don't know. It's just, I never really heard him talk about back when he was vice president saying, oh, yeah, we're going to shut down these power plants in upstate New York, or, oh, yeah, we're going to stop oil drilling out west. And he never really did that. And this was even back when the Democrats had both the House and Senate back in before 2010.
Yeah, and the thing,
Yeah.
I mean, the unfortunate thing with the Senate is like Obama couldn't do hardly anything because
Mhm.
they filibustered everything. He did a
Right.
lot on executive order. Um, so all right, so like, but I mean, like, how realistic is it to well, yeah, how realistic is it to expect that Howie will win?
Well, my theory is he's going to get more votes than Jill Stein did collectively in all 50 states than on the general election than she did 4 years ago. Because I've been seeing the Green Party or third parties gain momentum the last few years, I guess, especially among younger people. So what I think is going to happen is with Generation Z entirely, that's the big mystery, but I guess we'll find out in November, is they'll either split the vote with Gen Z or Gen Z will abandon both major parties and go for third parties.
All right, so let's see, Gen Z is intending to do that, because like this is
Yeah.
very important. In 2000, were
Mm-hmm.
who was the third party candidate?
I remember Ralph Nader.
Nader, right? If
Yeah.
Nader wasn't there in 2000, and in 2016 Stein wasn't there, then
Mm-hmm.
Democrats would help. So basically, this is
Yeah.
like, and I get your point, because the
Mm-hmm.
Democrats, you're right, they haven't championed it nearly enough.
Hmm.
And so this is basically, to make them push to the left more.
Yeah.
Um, right. Let me think. So, all right. So basically, what would satisfy the Green Party? What would Biden have to say so that maybe even like how it drops out?
Mm, good point. He has to promote stuff that a lot of progressives been saying for a while. Not only just for climate change and stuff, but like ranked choice voting, not have voter suppression anymore. I'm trying to think of another, like an election weekend we could eventually have, just stuff like that.
Yeah, but I mean, like I was thinking, yeah, because like to the environmental, which is really important.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I'm really optimistic because
Hmm.
basically, um, I believe that we're in a period very much like the Great Depression. I mean, unemployment is going
Hmm.
to go to about 25% in a couple of months. That's what they predict, and
Right.
which is what it was at the height of the Great Depression, right? So
Hmm.
in other words, like the main task to revive our economy is going to be to create new jobs.
Hmm.
And so, like, for example, like part of the New Deal was the Tennessee Valley Authority that FDR created, and they built
Yeah.
hydroelectric plants, these
Hmm.
dams, Hoover Dam and
Yeah.
stuff. So, I mean, this is an amazing opportunity to to create more solar panels and wind panels, renewable
Hmm.
energies, just like and
Yeah.
like many jobs can be created. So, like, do you have anything more kind of like specific or any other kind of environmental goals that you really need Biden to be very clear about?
Well, we got to clean up more of the oceans. I mean, look how bad it's interesting. There was a YouTube video, I forgot his name. It came out like 2 or 3 years ago. And there's a place between the Canary Islands, where Columbus originally was, and South America. And it talked about how we can get this whole garbage area and we can clean it up in like one swoop. All the litter and stuff that's been in there for like 30, 40 years.
Yeah, I hear you, and that's a perfect example because that's the
Yeah.
kind of work that a lot of people can do. You don't have to be a skilled programmer or technician to do that, I imagine.
Hmm.
Um, but yes, that's an example. All right, let's switch to let me think. Um, what do you think the world is going to look like as we move away out of this distancing and the economy revives? Let's say like in a year or two. What are your thoughts on where we're going to be as a country, as a world?
Well, I think we'll be not as paranoid next year. Okay, maybe we'll have a little bit of that sense still, some people, but we'll start to open up again. Like, okay, maybe we overacted just a little bit, not like too much, but a little tiny bit. Now we can go outside again, be with our loved ones, our friends, our family, have a good time. Hopefully, the illness is all gone by then. And yeah.
All right, good. And like we've talked politics enough because, like,
Hmm.
basically part of the show is we just talk about whatever. So,
Yeah.
like, what kind of stuff are you working on? How are you keeping happy during these times?
Oh, I'm still doing my 55,000 58th cousin project, except for these two I wrote, which were four.
Cool.
Yeah, still doing it. It's a lot
Genealogy.
of fun.
Awesome.
55,000 people. It's going to take probably a year or two to do, anyways.
55,000, you said?
Yeah, over 55 58th cousins. Yeah.
Very, very cool. Wait a minute. What, 50? So you have how many cousins and how many total or?
Oh, total, I have like 56,000 something, and over 55,000 of them are distant cousins.
Ah,
58.
okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, so let's see what else.
Um,
How go ahead, I'm sorry.
oh, what else I did today? Oh, I just played a video game before you came on.
Oh, what was it?
It was called Golden Sun. It came out in 2001. It's about this kid Isaac and his brother Garrett and his friend Ivan. They all try to rescue Ivan's master friend, Clarinet, I think his name is, his like master shaman. And then Ivan and no, yeah, Isaac and Garrett have to rescue Garrett's sister Jenna, which they're trying to get back from these two mystery people, which I don't know their names yet in the game. So.
Yeah, I mean, because I was just about to ask you if you could, like, open up that app and you could play it on screen, because that would be cool. But then, like,
Right.
I remember those copyright laws. I mean, like,
right.
I may be mistaken about that. I'm going to do some research. Maybe, like, it is possible to just record a game or something like that.
Yeah, they've gotten picky, Namco, the last few years, I think.
So let's see. What else is going on? I'll turn back to, like, let's see. Your experience on Zoom. What kind of rooms have you been going to? How's it been? How's that whole Zoom experience affecting you individually?
Well, it's interesting because there's this Casey autism group my friend goes to, and he invited me, and I said, okay, I'll check it out a few times. And I talked to Roger. He's this doctor from the New Haven, Yale area. And my friend, I guess, I won't say he's a doctor, but my friend Dan, but he's kind of like an IT specialist right now at Yale Hospital. So, yeah. And my other friends, too. Both Sarah's, Angela, Maureen, Adam, and there's one more. Oh, yeah, my friend Gigi Coleman.
Awesome. So you're hosting, like, Zoom parties, and you just, like, send in invitations, like, through email, through how do you arrange this? How do you organize?
Oh no, I do this through their meetups each
okay, week. Okay. But do you do any like with your friends, other people out, just like have like parties of just like emailing people and stuff? Have you tried that yet?
Sometimes I just tell my friends my information. We just text, and then I go on there. We go on my account, my personal page.
Right, because I was like, I live in a building. I was gonna, like, I mean, I probably won't do this because, like, but I was thinking of slipping an invitation on everybody's door. They're like in the Zoom call, to get everybody. But here in buildings like this, they're kind of, I don't know. It would be a great idea, but let's see. So how do you think Zoom is changing people?
Well, I think it's interesting because it's not just connecting us all around the world, but it's kind of like this new toy we've all like refound, even though it's been around for like 10 years almost.
And so it is a new toy. I mean, like, and I'm on this, like, 3, 4, 5 hours a day. I don't usually watch TV. So this is like this is like TV, except it's interactive. It's a lot more interesting, a lot more educational. So how do you think it's affecting people in general? Like what benefits will it have to, let's say it goes from 300 million to a couple of billion?
It will be interesting. I mean, we'll probably like see more meetup groups online. We'll probably see more people like we meet and stuff at bars or whatever in a few years from now and say, hey, you're really cool. You want my Zoom account? And it'll probably be like something like that in a few years from now.
Yeah. I mean, have you kind of like gone to different rooms where there are people from different parts of the world? Like.
Yes, there's this one every morning. Have you ever heard of Spontaneous on Meetup?
You mentioned that before. That's cool.
All right. But he's really cool. He does like this group, like these breakaway rooms, and we go in for like 30, 40 minutes each day. Most of them are from Japan, Osaka region or Tokyo. And we just talk and stuff and just get to know each other for like 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, I actually I just was on earlier today. This is an amazing, Lucas, you may want to do this next. They're having an event on Friday, but let me see if I get the name of it. The name of the meetup is called Wild. Where is it? Hold on.
I'll write it down on my phone.
It's great. We went into breakout rooms, and the idea is to get in touch with one's authentic self.
Cool.
Yeah. I got to find the group. Hold on. Wild.
I know.
And it's cool. It's in Portland, Oregon.
It's called what? Wild Self?
Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah, wild. You know, it's not really quote unquote a
Mhm.
wild group. It's more about delving deep into one's like um, emotions, one's being, one's presence. Where is it? Um, wild. I mean, it's such a great group. I've been there like three
Mhm.
times already.
Cool.
There were like 10 of us in there. And there, so again, the next one is on Friday. Meaningful. God, what happens is like I've been joining so many groups because, you know, so many new like Zoom rooms are opening.
Mhm.
And where is this? Hold on. I can't believe how many groups I am a member, and I still don't find it. Well, whatever. I will get it to you. I'll get it to you like if you come into the room tonight in the chat. And
Yeah.
stuff. Cool. Um, so let's see. What else? What else are you doing to keep happy during these times?
Netflix sometimes.
Cool.
Sometimes Netflix.
What
Yeah.
what what have been what have you been watching that's good?
Have you ever heard of The Hollow? I might have mentioned that. I don't remember if I did or
The
not in the
Hollow. The
group.
Hollow. I'm not sure.
It's this like video game. These kids are in this video game and they have to find their way back home.
That sounds good. Cool. I like about a couple of months ago. I would have like sometimes let's say I have like these daymares. I'll take a nap during the day and I have these dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these dreams, and I think they've resolved, but basically they were like about I was like in some place that wasn't White Plains, and you know like you
Mm-hmm.
know could have been somewhere else, and I couldn't get back home. So I wonder if this is kind of like universal theme that films like
Right.
that help people get in touch with.
Yeah.
So what other films?
Um, I watched 100 Humans, which were like interesting experiments, I guess. Like there was this one of they had to like do this construction work on a chair in like an hour, and it was really funny. All the groups had the different age groups, and they wanted to see which age group was the most best at reflexes. And
Very cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what's what I'm optimistic about the future
Mm-hmm.
about is that each generation, you know, IQ
Mm-hmm.
goes up. So your
Yeah.
generation is a lot smarter than mine,
Mm-hmm.
and you know that's why I'm really optimistic that
Yeah.
the world is going to get better and better. I mean, the climate change I think is going to be challenges stuff, but I think we're going to meet it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, do you think about the future much, like what the next 10, 20, 30 years is going to be like, in a positive way, ideally?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think it'll be interesting. I mean, I don't know. We might have. I mean, might have flying cars. I'm not going to say we will. I don't know yet. We might land on Mars eventually in like 10, 15 years from now. We probably might have Puerto Rico as a 51st state eventually, or Guam, or some of those other places.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me think. All right. So let's get back to politics.
Well, it's not really politics.
Oh, all right. All right.
State-wise, I guess.
I hear you. What? How about your? Do you have any plans for the next like several years or 5 years? Like, you know, you have a direction you want your life to go.
I really want to be a museum tour guide. That's been always been my dream job since I was a kid.
That is very cool. Now, what is there
Yeah.
a specific museum that you prefer to work at?
Yes, the Yale Art Museum in downtown New Haven on Chapel Street.
Wow, and you're close to there, are you? Are you in?
Yeah, I'm about a 3 mile walk away, so it takes me about an hour to walk
Oh,
there.
that's awesome. That is so cool. So
Yeah.
how are you preparing for that? What's the process? What are you going through?
Well, I'm going to talk to one of the, I guess the director is not the best person to talk to, the museum. So I do one of the divisions of the museum and talk if I like, oh, can I do a tour one day in this department? I've been there a couple times to see your paintings and I'm really interested. And I'd be a great tour guide. I'd love to help people out and stuff. Yeah.
That's so like this museum you're saying is a an art museum.
Yeah, and it's open free to the public. So
Awesome. That is so
yeah.
cool. So yeah, imagine what yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Now, do you already know the painting? Do you already know the work, the artwork there, or will you have to learn that?
Well, yeah, some I kind of know because I've seen it a few times, but some I haven't seen because sometimes the fourth floor they change every few
Oh,
months.
right,
So
right, right, right.
yeah,
But you feel confident that you spoke, if you spoke with the director or like she asked you, like he or she
yeah,
asked you about questions, that is very cool. That's awesome.
yeah. 'Cause I knew the last director really well, so she'll probably kind of might have known him, so I have a chance.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, like, are you still in touch with the former director? Because you might even be able to get a recommendation.
I think I have his number somewhere, but I have to find it in my room.
That'd be cool.
It's kind of cluttered right now.
So let's see what else. Um, yeah, I've been playing a lot of bass guitar, just like, I've been jamming. I mean, like, I
Yeah.
played guitar for many years, but I tried to play through entire songs. I found I couldn't do that. So now I'm just playing the bass, and I find because it's an octave lower, it just like blends in with whatever I'm playing, much better. And so like, I'm psyched. I'm finally getting good. My goal is to maybe in a year or two be a studio musician, because I don't have
Mhm.
classical training, but I've got very intuitive improvisation, very unique. I think it's kind of like a bass guitar played like a lead guitar in a sense.
Mhm. Oh, there's one other thing I do want to do in the next 5 to 10 years because you mentioned it. I want to help with endangered languages from around the world. There's this guy on YouTube called Wiki Tongues, if your base wants to follow it. And he's been started it, I think, recording and documenting last year. People like sending it on his website. I forget his real name, but anyway, he's been doing it for about a year. There's like over 200 videos on his YouTube channel, and it's just helps people out. Now I'm getting inspired by doing the endangered ones, and then I'm going to present it at Yale eventually from the director at Yale, the dean at Yale.
That's so like, wait a minute, how are you connecting the endangered languages project to the Yale? I mean, like they would be interested in things like that also, or like.
I think so because some places in like California are interested, so I figured, oh, if they are, Yale's probably going to be just as interested in
Cool.
the kids at Yale and stuff. Yeah.
And so like, this is interesting because like
Mm-hmm.
you have a great interest in genealogy and these like languages that
Mm-hmm.
so I think you're kind of like an anthropologist historian. It's great. You have like
Yeah.
a very strong interest in humanity and like the
Mm-hmm.
past generations and all.
Yeah.
How many of these endangered languages are there?
There's over 3,000 in the world, and I've only in all around the world, and I only wrote 7,000. Sorry, and I wrote down about maybe a few hundred already, or 100 or so.
Right. And what is the process of going about saving these languages? How does we do that?
Well, there's an old website. I know I can't share it, but I'll type out it for your audience. It's called the Endangered Language Project. It started back in, I think, the late 90s. And they've been doing it ever since then. And a lot of colleges now have stepped up to help as well.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah.
Oh, it's called endangeredlanguages.com. That's what it's called, endangeredlanguages.com.
Very cool. So let's see what else. What do you think may be the next big thing, or what would you want to go? Like, I think Zoom is the next big thing right now. Zoom is the big thing, I think. So, I mean, like, if you're not including this distancing, of course, which is like, but what do you think is the next big positive thing that might come along?
Oh, you mean invention-wise? Might sound strange, but nanotechnology for shoes, so we never have to dirty our shoes again.
How does that work? I don't
know. I saw that this guy's futuristic video in like the next 40 years or 30 years. Supposedly, like if you spill like chocolate syrup on your shoes, or you get them with dirt, or something like you spill on your shoes or clothes or whatever, you won't have to worry about it because it'll just come right off and then you don't have to put in the wash anymore.
That's very cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when I think about this, like, I mean, all right, for the naturalist, because like my first idea would be kind of like a happiness pill, makes everybody happier, right? But a lot of people want things naturally, right? So what I would hope, and I'm not all that optimistic, but what would be great is that they started teaching kids' happiness in schools, K through 12 and
Right.
beyond. And then even like, no, beyond that, that was just part of it. You know, people go to the gym after like work, you know, so in other words, rather than going to a workout gym, people would go to a happiness gym. So they leave work, they learn how to feel much happier. They take it home. They're, you know, so like we can create so much happier world by people just like
Mm-hmm.
working on their happiness more.
Yeah. And not just at the gyms, but learning from other cultures, accepting other people, and all this cool stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's bringing it back to Zoom. That's what's happening. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, we're meeting people from Australia, from Canada,
Mm-hmm.
from Japan, from, you
Yeah.
know, Brazil. I mean, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So we got about 2 minutes left. Let's see.
Okay.
Anything else? Anything else you want to talk about? Any different topic or?
I can't think of anything in 2 minutes.
Okay, let's see.
Um,
Let's see. What do you think about the prospect of Zoom, you know, kind of like, because we're talking with people from all over the world, that
mhm.
basically we're uniting the world in this way. Like this, we're becoming a global, it's a virtual culture, but it's a real culture. What do you think of that prospect?
Well, it's interesting because we're becoming this virtual culture. We're not just learning like our own language. We're learning all these different languages. We're learning all these different techniques. I guess even other like national food dishes from around the world and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that it may go to like deeper levels. In other words, like
Mm-hmm.
I was in a room earlier today, and I think there was a Scandinavian woman there, right? And people from different cultures, different countries, have different ways of expressing themselves. Here, like in the New
Mm-hmm.
York metropolitan area, Connecticut line, people are pretty
Mm-hmm.
much the same to a certain extent with that. I mean, you still have a lot
Yeah.
of variety, but this, like on the screens, you can really, you know, as a student of human nature and all, you know, it's very interesting to see all the variations in how we communicate and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got like 36 seconds. Let me close out the show. All right, this has been George Ortega with Lucas Gabriel, and we've just been talking about politics in the world and predictions and like, you know, various things. And so anyway, catch the show every Monday through Friday on White Plains Community Media, channel 76 if you get Optimum, and channel 45 if you get Verizon. So we'll be here again tomorrow, and hopefully Lucas will join us again. Maybe we'll have a party here because maybe we'll invite some people from the room that we were in, that we generally party. Okay, have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, Lucas.
All right. All right.